Hi guys, let's talk about how you can learn a language through TV shows. So a lot of people would just think like, you know what, if I just pick a TV series in French or a movie in English, I would get better in the language almost automatically. I just need to watch it enough, often enough, and then I'll get better. So sure, that can happen eventually, but it's gonna take you a very, very long time to get good. So if you want to progress really fast in your language through TV shows, it's very important to be intentional on how you learn, to be very focused on learning from this TV show. So I'm gonna give you some tips, some steps on how you can get the most out of learning English from TV shows. Number one is to first have clear intentions before you watch the TV series. So are you watching these TV series in English for fun, to get entertained, or to learn English for educational purposes? Because if you don't have any clear intentions, then you're just gonna watch this TV series without really knowing, okay, I'm having fun or am I learning? And when you're doing this, not really knowing if you're learning or if you're getting entertained, it kind of beats the fun and you're not learning as much. So you're not getting the most out of it. So if you know that you're watching this TV series for fun, then just have fun. You don't really need to care about the language. You don't really need to take notes. You don't really have to take in new words that you learn from the TV series. Just focus on the stories and get entertained. But if you want to watch these series only to learn English, then have that mindset. Then have your notebook open with you. Then have your phone notes app open. And then really pay attention to the use of the language. Because by really knowing your intentions before you watch the TV series, it's really gonna give you the most benefit back. You're either having fun or learning. So make sure to know, okay, am I watching the series for fun or to learn? Number two is to understand the story. So it's very important that in order for you to learn a language, you have to understand what is going on. Because if you don't really understand what's going on, it's very hard to extract meaning from that. So how do you understand what is happening? In order to understand the story, there's actually a couple of ways. First, you may already have watched this episode from start to finish, so you know what's going on. So maybe you're watching the series repeatedly. This is like the second time you're watching this episode, so you already know the story. But another way to that is, if you haven't watched this episode yet, it's probably better if you just watch the episode from start to finish to understand the story. So it's probably better to tackle this episode with the intention of having fun, to get entertained, to understand the story, and then rewatch it again with the intention of learning. So the bottom line is that you really have to understand the story. So it could be that you've already watched this episode before and you're doing it on the second time, or maybe you have read the spoilers or a summary of it online, or maybe you're just gonna have to watch the story with Indonesian subtitle or the subtitle of your native language to truly understand. So step number three is to rewatch it. So you can rewatch the entire episode again to learn, or you can only rewatch some scenes that you like, that are interesting to you. So let's say you've completely understood the story, and then now it's time for you to break it down even more specifically. So you can choose a scene from the episode that you find interesting, that you find fun, and that you want to learn from. So when you watch the scene, at this point you already know what's going on. So once you know what's going on, it's time for you to really understand how they use the language. What are the phrases that they use? So what are some words that you don't really understand? Or maybe some phrasal verbs that are new to you? Or maybe their facial expressions and all of that. So here is when you really have to be intentional in paying attention to how these natives speak English. And when you pay attention, you go to step 4, and that is to take a note. So at this point, you want to have your phone open or your notebook open or your Anki app open to write down the phrases that you would think you would use in your daily life. Oh, that's an interesting phrase that I can see myself using in my daily life, so let me write that down. Oh, this is a new way of expressing this idea. I'm gonna write that down. So this is how you improve your vocabulary through native content. Or maybe if you're not really focused on improving your vocabulary, you want to improve your accent, then you can try to mimic, to shadow the native speakers that you see on the screen. How do they pronounce certain phrases? How is the intonation? What's the musicality of the language? If you want to focus on improving your grammar, then you pay attention to the sentences. Like, oh, how do they structure this? What goes after what? Why do they use the prepositions on the end of the sentence? So this is how you really learn. And then step number 5 is to repeat and review. So let's say you've already written down a lot of words, a lot of new phrases that you collected in your notes app or in your notebook. It's very important for you to review it again. Because if you just write it down and then you never open it again, you're more likely to forget. No, you're actually almost always going to forget it. So do not forget to open your notes app from time to time and then review it. And one way to also remember is to replay the scenes in your head. By replaying the scenes in your head, there's a story, there are emotions and all of that, so it's easier for you to remember the phrases that you collected when you replay those words, when you replay those scenes. So however you feel comfortable reviewing, you want to do that. Maybe you're more comfortable reviewing, opening the apps, or maybe you're more comfortable repeating the scenes again, or maybe you're more comfortable replaying the scenes in your head. However it is, it's very important to review to imprint them in your long-term memory. So there you go, guys. These are some 5 steps that you can do to improve your English through native content, through TV series. I hope this video helped you, and if you do, as always, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you next week in another video. Take care and good luck.